Welcome to the Forever Cash Life Real Estate Investing Podcast with your hosts, Jack and Michelle Bosch. Together, let's uncover the secrets to building true wealth through real estate and living a purpose-driven life.
What we're dealing with is the method called land flipping. Land flipping is, again, it's the same as house flipping, just without the houses. As a matter of fact, it's even easier than house flipping because you don't have to look at tenants, toilets, termites. You don't have to look at trash. You don't have to look at foundations of bathtubs, at plumbing, at mold. You don't have to look at roofs. You don't have to open the doors. You actually don't even have to be there because there's nothing to see. It's just a bunch of dirt, right? A bunch of land with perhaps some trees on them, and that's it. So all of this can be done from home, which is exactly where we have been doing our deals from for the last 13 years. I attribute a lot of different things to my success, but if there's one thing that stands out in my mind, then it's just a bulldog, hard-headed, stubborn sense of perseverance. In other words, that when I tackle something, when I make the decision to go for something on a fundamental level, I will not give up until that is accomplished, no matter what. In order for you to have that perseverance, a few things need to fall in place. Number one, you need to have a reason why. Number two, you need to have the what. And number three, you need to have a date in place. And then another thing is that you need to do is you need to know yourself. Know thyself, right? The ones that succeed, they come to us and they're like, I know, I have a goal. I'm gonna make $300,000 in the first year. That's gonna be 25 different deals. I'm gonna outsource it at that point in the transaction, in the process, and I'm gonna do in my personal life what it takes to free up the time and the money in order to do that. Those are the people who are successful. The next people who are successful are actually those who know themselves. Now, know themselves means something very, very different. Right? Knowing their self is something that is very, very rare. And what I mean by that is, let's say, look at it this way. If you have a history of trying and failing, and trying and failing, and trying and failing, and trying and failing, if you have a bookshelf which full of shelf help up on the wall, right, then I have a news for you. And that news is that you do not know yourself enough. A rhythm of success is something like, if you look at an athlete doesn't, like, even if you think, let's say, a bodybuilder doesn't typically work out 7 days a week, right? Because your muscles, when you work them out, they break down, and then they need time to build back up. So when you work out your pecs one day, you don't work out that muscle group the next day. And it's the same thing in business. If you work on something, if you work 5 days a week or 6 days a week, you got to take that day off. You got to take a day or two to rejuvenate from the work that you do in whatever you do, right? So therefore, what you want to do is you want to schedule out what we call plan, produce, and play days.
First of all, the coaches bring a lot to the conversation. You know, there's a tremendous amount of experience, but they're also there to keep you on track. In other words, there's more complexity to this than you might originally anticipate. And so a coach is tremendously helpful to make sure you get through those rough spots, and kind of an encouragement to keep you going and to drive you forward. I mean, I think without the coaching, it would be really easy to get to a certain place and become frustrated, and not necessarily have someone, you wouldn't have someone to reach out to and say, hey, I'm struggling with this, or I need help with that. And, without that coach, you're kind of on your own.